The economy is in freefall, and no one's sure where rock bottom is. And as the mortgage crisis and mounting job losses melt away the American dream, another fundamental economic problem is being exposed: America's debt epidemic.
Middle-class America is under attack.
We begin then.
Elizabeth Warren is a Harvard law professor in charge of the oversight panel monitoring the government's $700 billion banking bailout. She's also a leading expert on consumer debt.
Is this the next crisis?
It's not only the next crisis, it's the now crisis. None of these things are separated from each other. We are in debt crisis, not just mortgage crisis.
Want to refinance and get cash?
Before the housing bubble burst, many Americans were able to take loans against the value of their houses to stay afloat, using that cash to pay off credit cards and other debts. But with home values plummeting and unemployment rising, millions now have nowhere to turn.
I never knew this would happen.
And American consumers are now carrying an unprecedented, staggering amount of debt: $2.5 trillion.
I'm so sorry.
So how did we get here?
This is a big one.
Vicki Harrington's story is sadly typical.
$125,311.50.
Like so many people, she is drowning in debt.
Our telephone was shut off. Our cable's been shut off. Our electric's been shut off.
Not long ago, Vicki and her husband Jim were doing fine with 2 steady paychecks. Vicki's son Ryan was in his first year of college.
We were doing okay. But when my son got sick, our whole life changed dramatically.
Medical bills are a leading cause of debt in America. And as the Harringtons discovered, they were just one serious medical emergency away from financial ruin. In 2005, Ryan was diagnosed with a rare form of lymphoma. By the time doctors caught it, the cancer had spread to his brain.
A lot of crying, a lot of praying on the floor.
Luckily, they had health insurance, but Vicki stopped working to be by her son's side during chemotherapy, and the bills began piling up. Credit cards were an easy stopgap.
We had to use credit cards because that's the only way we could survive.
And when Ryan's treatment topped $2 million, their insurance maxed out, and the really big bills started rolling in.
These bills are for chemo again. $111,375.
Yeah.
The good news is that Ryan's cancer is in retreat. He's in remission and back at college. But the illness has left the family destitute.
And how much outstanding medical debt do you figure you have as we sit here today?
100,000.
100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway across the country in Minnesota, the Snyder family is in economic freefall for another reason: job loss.
How stressful is this for you?
It's very stressful. You think about it every day.
Chris's husband, Matt, a plumbing contractor, was recently laid off. Getting by on her one salary has them hanging by a thread.
You're robbing Paul to pay Peter. You know, what can I pay out of this check, and what's going to have to wait till the next check?
Credit cards are now a lifeline for the Snyders as they desperately try to stay afloat. Like so many victims of the economic crisis, they're also struggling to hold on to a home that's worth less than what they paid for it.
The house across the street is for sale for $100,000 less than what our house is mortgaged for.
They've also got a car loan, student loans, and credit card debt that's $25,000 and growing.
You still have to use this card once in a while to get by.
I do. I've got my car insurance and Target. That was groceries.
Gotta eat.
Gotta eat. Gotta have car insurance.
Harvard's Elizabeth Warren says that too many Americans today are like the Snyders and the Harringtons, accumulating debt, not wealth.
Should we feel sorry for people who are buried in credit card debt?
To me, it's not about feeling sorry. It's about understanding the economic realities. The median American family has tried to hold on to an American dream that their parents could easily afford on one income, and today's family can't pay for on 2. They need to make it to the end of this month. And if plastic is the way to do that, that's what families have been doing.
And that means more and more families are sinking deeper into financial quicksand.
All of this is very overwhelming. To know that you may never, ever, ever see the bottom.
How long is it going to take you at this rate to pay off that credit card?
I'm on the lifetime plan at this point. I'll probably be retired.
So who's profiting from this lifelong cycle of debt? We'll show you how the credit industry makes debt pay.
The credit card companies have put the loan sharks out of business.
And we'll go inside the debt collection business to see how far some will go to get a piece of the action.
So